Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Wednesday. It is December 14th, 2022. My name's Jeremy. This is my first cup. That is really warm. First things first, we are not live on Facebook at this moment. I'll try again in a few. It's rejecting the feed. I don't know why. I have no information other than it's not working. So those of you who are watching on Twitch or YouTube, you're watching, and that's why there aren't as many people here. Is it just me, or can we actually go back a few years and say, hey, look at how Facebook has gotten really bad at a lot of things? Back in the day when I first launched Whistlekick, we used Facebook extensively, and I was using paid ads and to a lot of success to bring people in and build awareness around the company. And it doesn't work that way anymore. Not even close. People are just so cynical, and it's not happening. So who's here? Good morning to Stacy and Dennis and Brian and Liz and Nathan and all the rest of you who might check this show out later on. Thanks for coming by. I had to move from a conventional mug to this Yeti thing here, which is way too hot. But I really got tired of, by the time, because it's cold, and by the time the show was halfway over, my tea was cold, and didn't really dig that so much. But well, thank you. Stacy says we put the word out on Facebook Messenger group. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'll work on it later. Maybe. Honestly, I'll probably not work on it unless it happens again tomorrow, because there are so many random things that could happen with this that I have no control over. Clearly it works because we're streaming on these other two platforms. How was your Tuesday? What did you do? How did it go? What were your wins? What maybe do you need some support on? Yesterday was a all over the place day. IT client work, podcast episode, and then and then some work, and then a stack of meetings that went until almost 8 o'clock. But it was good stuff. Of course, I don't know how much of it had to do with not eating lunch. So here's the thing. If I eat early and I control what I eat, I can fast through the day. If I do it pretty much any other way, I will hit a point where my blood sugar just kind of goes off the rails and things aren't flowing right. And that happened about dinner time, about 6 o'clock. Oh, pardon me. And I could tell my brain was not firing right. Everything was accelerated. My heart rate was up. It's not a pleasant feeling. And that's kind of what happened last night. And because of that, I don't think I slept really well. I did take some time, as I have been the last few evenings, without the TV before bed, reading. Not last night, but the last couple nights, drinking tea, just trying to be as mellow as I can before bed. And I went to bed, and there were some dreams. Holy cow, the stuff going on when my alarm hit, it was some Stranger Things sort of stuff. You ever have dreams like that? You wake up and you're like, I don't like what just happened. Now, fortunately, it wasn't the really vivid stuff. You know, the vivid stuff where you wake up and you're like, did that just happen? Did that just happen? It wasn't quite like that. But I was definitely along for the ride on something that I'm glad was a dream, because it was not enjoyable. So many woos going on here in the chat. You guys are great. What else happened? I'm trying to think. I hung my new piece of art. I love it. I think it goes great on the wall. I love the color. I think I showed you, was it yesterday or the day before I showed you all? But it's hung and it goes well, and I may adjust how it's hung. I don't know. There are too many horizontal lines, and I don't like how some of them are intersecting right now. So I may make an adjustment, but if you want to see it again, and if you want to see it mounted, it's on my personal Instagram at Jeremy Lesniak. Today's Wednesday. So I've got my normal kind of Wednesday stuff, bunch of productivity, a little bit of client stuff. I'll have to catch up on the books because I barely did them last week while I was gone. I just made sure there was money where it needed to be, but now I actually have to plug a bunch of things in, and we'll see where that takes me. This evening, I've got a doctor's appointment and going to dinner with some friends, and I'm looking forward to it. Not quite as cold as yesterday, not 4. It was 15 when I woke up. Still a little colder than I would like, but let's face it, winter in Vermont, it's going to be 15. Every day is not going to be 40. And frankly, I don't want every day to be 40. I want it to be cold enough that the snow comes and the ski areas can make snow, because that's a huge part of our economy. I want those businesses to work, and I want all the supportive businesses and all the people I know that work at those businesses to be okay. So I don't mind. I'm slowly building a new morning routine after my time away, and some of it has to do with getting up a little earlier today. Instead of getting up at 5:40, which I've done for who knows how long in prep for this show, I got up at 5:30. I don't know where that extra 10 minutes went, though. We'll try again tomorrow. Might turn into 5:20. But there are things that I'm trying to do in a certain order to get the day ready. And so that when I sit down, even though I won't have had my tea, formerly coffee, I'll be ready to go. And it's kind of where we're at. So Stacy says, as long as every day isn't 5 degrees. Completely agree. 5 degrees is just a little much, is a little cold. So I hope you had a good Tuesday. I didn't even load up the stuff Frank sent over. I know he did send stuff over. Oh, cool. And Liz is reminding me that Anna Lima, aka Morena, who taught at Free Training Day, who's been on Martial Arts Radio, we give an amazing episode of Martial Arts Radio. Where are we going back? Not quite a year. I don't think it's quite a year. Starts her from recovery to strength for martial arts today. It's a free program. And if you were to look her up on Instagram, you would find that. And Stacey says, nice. I took one of her seminars at Free Training Day. Yep, she did a lecture on a class. Great resource in our community. She's a rock star. I think the world of that woman. So make sure if you are so inclined, if you look at the training programs that we do and you think, that's too much money. I don't want to spend $50 or $100 to have lifetime access to a thing that works really, really well. I want to do it for free with someone who is going to put on webinar class sort of things. I would say Morena is the best choice. You should absolutely check out her stuff. Yes, there was a little bit of a slight thrown in there. Those of you, that's okay. I am 95% teasing about that. So, I don't know that there's anything else to say. I don't know that there's anything else to say. The dreams really messed with my sleep and my transition into the wakefulness of the world. I don't remember much. I just remember waking up with the feeling. You know the feeling? You wake up and you're like, yeah, it was that feeling. All right. I feel like I'm scraping at this point. So let's see what Frank sent us. There goes a plow. Can you hear it? The house just shook. That's how you know it's a plow. All right. On this day in 1883, Morihei Shiba, aka O-sensei of Aikido, was born. Let's see what we got here to talk about from Aikido's founder. Oh, plow's moving slow. It's serious out there. Now and again, it is necessary to seclude yourself among deep mountain and hidden valleys to restore your link to the source of life. You know, if you look at pretty much any religion, any world religion, there's some built-in manner of decompression. And think about what a busy life looked like, a chaotic life looked like, a founding of those faiths. How much more busy and chaos do we have now? So much more. And we're just starting to figure out what balance might look like. There have been studies done about productivity, and all of them show that taking breaks and taking time off and distractions in appropriate doses are beneficial to productivity. The idea that someone's going to sit down and work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week without breaks and deliver wonderful work the entire time doesn't happen. We know it doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. Science doesn't back it up. So that means we have to be choosy about how we do things. And the more intense something is, the more choosy we have to be, whether it's an intense workout or intense work. We have to be selective. Do we do this on this day? Do we do it from this time to this time? It's almost like stepping into battle. If you have the option to choose, you do it when there's likely to be the best outcome. For example, the things that require the most mental acuity, the most brain intensity, I try to do them in the morning before I do other work things. Sometimes I'll go right, and if you've been watching this show for a long time, you know sometimes there will be something I'm working on and I will go right from this show to sitting at my desk and working on it, because the longer I wait into the day, the less brain power I have. There are tasks, and I tell my clients this. Good morning, Andrew. I tell my clients this. There are tasks that I have to do for them, and maybe I meet with them at 2:00 and they say, when can you do this? I say, well, I'll be honest. I have time now, but it's not going to be good. because this is going to require a lot of thought. So I'm going to get to it tomorrow or Wednesday, whatever the next morning is, or early block that I can cordon off and make sure that I tackle it when I'm at 100%, not 50%. There are some things that I can do when I'm at 50%. Oh, let's just delete this email. Let's approve these posts, things like that. That stuff works when I'm not at my best. But the heart of this really is about detaching to restore your link to the source of life. Do we know what that is? And I don't mean it that it's one thing. I mean, it's different for all of us. For me, it's hiking. I know that if I go months without hiking, which I did this year multiple times, I'm not in as good of a place. I need to be out in the woods. It is where I recharge. It is how I recharge. To load up my pack and just be out there for a day and not be so worried about how fast I'm going or making it back in time for anything in particular, just to go. That's what I need. And I suspect you know what you need too. Please consider this my encouragement to you to make it a priority. Because the more you take care of yourself, the better you can show up for those around you. And the easier and more productive and powerful all the other stuff you do is. It's worth doing, right? Next. True victory is victory over oneself. True victory is victory over oneself. Well, think about it from the opposite. What is not being victorious over oneself? To be out of control of yourself. To allow your mind, your body, to be at the direction, conscious or unconscious, of others. I would say most of us spend at least some, if not most of our time unconsciously directed by others. Our parents play a big role in that. Society plays a big role in that. And one of the things I've been doing in just the few days that I've been back is trying to be a little more aware of where that external influence comes in. After I did this show, part of my routine was to listen to the news. It's about 15 minutes while I did other things. I don't do that anymore. I still get news. It still creeps in. The important stuff will find me. I don't go looking for it anymore. It doesn't make my life better. It takes hold. It tells us how to act. I'm not okay with that. I determine how I act. And I would challenge all of you to not necessarily take the same action, as in don't listen to the news, but to take the same action in evaluating what external influences you allow into your life and how much control you allow them to have over you. Just because something doesn't say you need to do this does not mean it doesn't have control. Anybody who raised kids knows how powerful subtle but continual influence can be. You don't suddenly hit 18 and become immune to that. And our last one here. In the art of peace, we never attack. An attack is proof that one is out of control. Never run away from any challenge, but do not try to suppress or control an opponent unnaturally. Let attackers come any way they like and then blend with them. Never chase after opponents. Redirect each attack and get firmly behind it. It's a pretty strong visual representation of Aikido right there. But as with most things we talk about on the show, we can extend it so far beyond that. Let attackers come any way they choose. Do you really have much of a choice? You can exert a lot of energy and try to stop them from doing certain things in certain ways. You're probably not going to be successful. And how about the rest of life? You can't control what other people are going to think, say, or do. You can't control what most people do at work or on your drive or even really your family, your friends. They're going to do what they're going to do. So what does that leave you for options? You control your responses. You can meet them with force, frankly, the way most of us are originally taught in most martial arts. Or you can start to go with it, which is kind of the Aikido way and the way that a lot of us end up trending towards as we train for a while. Remember, if someone attacks you, they're probably bigger and stronger than you. It just generally works out that way. So do you really want to meet force with force? You're probably not going to win. Maybe. I don't want to take that chance. If someone attacks me with force, which they're usually going to, I want to find a different way. I'm small. There's only so much ballast. Even if I'm stronger, there's a good chance I fall over. Then it's not going to go well. So I will challenge all of you just to observe today. Observe the patterns in others. When someone says or does something that is done in force, it doesn't have to be violent or angry, but it can be with a forceful energy. How do other people respond to it? Do they redirect it? Do they meet it with force? Or do they simply just get hit? There might be some other options. Those are the three that come to mind. The better you can observe this stuff, the better you can understand it. Once you understand it, you have choice. And those choices extend, into our training, into self-defense, but just in life. To me, martial arts is about living a better life and using it as a toolkit to have a better understanding of the world. I think it's pretty good use of that time, that investment that we make. So there we go. I hope you have a great day. Remember, you can support us. Grab something at whistlekick.com. It's not too late. Actually, today might be the last day for printed items. If you really want something in time for holiday delivery, do it like right now. Pretty sure this is the last day. If you want something that you can give that doesn't require shipping, we've got the training programs. You can get 15% off those using the code FirstCup15 at whistlekick.com. You could join the Patreon. Patreon.com/whistlekick. All in weekend. We'll send you a certificate. You can give that. I can't think of a better gift to someone. We're going to crush that again. And of course, we've got the family page, whistlekick.com/family. If you are family, hopefully you're checking out the family page because it's for you. We do this show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, Facebook, usually, YouTube and Twitch, soon coming to other platforms. I appreciate all of you. I thank you for coming by, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.